It's that time again. We're ready to start talking about lawn care for the 2022 season. So let's get out of the way. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 4 pillars of lawn care. And so these are going to be 4 main things that if you do these 4 right, you will have a great yard. Weed control, fertilizer, mowing, and water. So beginning with weed control, it's broken up into 2 different types. We have pre-emergent and post-emergent. Pre-emergent is what we will start our year doing. Once the temperatures get right, it'll be the first application that I do of the year. And this pre-emergent goes down to help catch weeds before they emerge, hence the word pre-emergent. Post-emergent is going to be once you see a weed in your yard, you spray something on it or put something down that's going to take care of it after you've already seen it. In my opinion, the pre-emergent application that we will do at the beginning of the year is about the most important thing that you can do for your grass all year. It'll take care of a lot of the problem weeds that you will have in your lawn ahead of time and make controlling everything else that pops up throughout the year much more manageable. And so I will do a more in-depth video on pre-emergent once it gets closer to putting that down. I'll show you what I put down, why we put it down, and kind of how it all works. But I just want to cover that. Weed control is going to be one of the main things you want to take care of. And the first thing is going to be pre-emergent. Number 2, fertilizer. Fertilizing your lawn gives your lawn the nutrients that it needs to thrive. Without fertilizing your lawn is going to lack a lot of the essential nutrients that it needs to really grow good, to be a good color, to be thick. With what I do, I recommend putting down a fertilizer application every 4 to 6 weeks throughout the growing season. Usually beginning between the end of March and the middle of April being the first application, depending on temperatures, and then every 4 to 6 weeks all the way up till about around Thanksgiving or so, when I put down my winterizer application. Number 3, water. In order for our lawns to thrive, it needs between 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week to maintain its green color and avoid ever going into any kind of dormancy throughout the year. For cool season, we usually get a lot of rain early in the season when we get into our March, April, and May months, and then it starts to back off, temperatures rise, and we start to lack water. So normally we don't have to really irrigate that much in the first 2 to 3 months of the season, but once we get into our July, August, September, those are when actually watering your lawn and having an irrigation schedule for your lawn is critical to keep your lawn looking good throughout the summer. Then once we get into the fall, usually we start to get a little bit more rain, plus temperatures are starting to come down a little bit, which is helping us out as well. And number 4, mowing. Mowing is something that all of us have to do. Some of us love it, some of us hate it, but proper mowing goes a long way in keeping your grass looking nice. You can do the other 3 steps that I've mentioned, do all of those really well, and if you're not mowing properly, you can still not get the results that you need. And so mowing is what you're going to be doing the most often out of all of these steps, and it's also going to be the thing that's going to have the most impact on how your lawn looks. What I recommend for mowing for cool season grass is to keep your lawn somewhere between 3 inches and 4 inches. Keeping your lawn inside of that range will keep it easy to maintain and keep it looking its best. So you may be thinking, I have no idea how high I cut my grass. And so just a kind of easy thing without actually having to go out and measure or see what your mower's cutting at. Most mowers' top cutting height is usually between 3 3/4 to 4 inches and 1/4 is usually kind of what the top height's going to be depending on the brand of your mower. So a good rule of thumb is to usually set your mower either to the highest height setting or set it to the second to highest height setting, and you will more than likely fall somewhere inside of that good range for cool season grass. The next thing when it comes to mowing is to make sure that you do not cut too much off each time you mow. A lot of times you'll hear of the 1/3 rule, where they say not to cut off more than 1/3 of the grass blade each time you mow. Which a lot of times that might be kind of hard for you just to tell. If you're just getting into this, it might be really hard to tell if like how long you can wait between mows to know if you're taking off just 1/3. And so in general, a good rule of thumb that I kind of just follow is I try to get in the habit of mowing my lawn twice a week. And so what this does is it never lets more than 3 or 4 days go in between mowings, and that way I'm never taking off too much. Of course, I'm going to have different things come up. I'm going to get busy or whatever, and I'm going to have times where it ends up being a week in between mowings and things like that. That stuff you can't control. But on kind of my weekly schedule, I try to fit in 2 mowings. One of those mowings is when I try to do my mowing, weed eating, edging. I try to do the whole thing, so it usually takes me a little longer. And then for that second mowing, I just try to do just a quick mow, get out there and get off the lawn. Not spend all day out on the lawn because I know our time is critical, but to go out there and keep my lawn looking nice by not taking off too much of the grass. A bad habit that I see so many people do is they'll mow their grass already at a pretty low setting, they'll hack off most of the lawn, and then they let it go for a week and a half, 2 weeks, once it grows up pretty tall, and then they keep it down at that low setting and hack it off again. This is one of the worst things you can do to your grass because your grass is getting cut too short, and then it grows up long and it's liking it because you're just kind of not touching it for a while, and then you just come on and just hack it down low again. So I like to think of it kind of like clipping my fingernails. Whenever our fingernails start to grow out long and we go and we clip them, we usually just take off just a little bit when we're clipping them. And what happens is, which we've all done it, is we clip our fingernails and we cut it down too low. And then for the next couple of days in that, man, your fingernail's hurting just because we cut it too short. And so you're in a lot of pain. And then once your nail grows out and stuff, then you're fine. But when cutting our nails the proper way, we're just taking off just a little bit of the fingernail. And that's the same way with grass. And we let it grow out and then just hack it down real low, we're stressing out the grass. And so what happens is your grass looks brown. And so you'll go and you might be doing a lot of things right with fertilizing and different things, but just because you're not mowing properly, your lawn is like, oh, what are you doing to me? And then you're seeing it looking brown and things like that. Kind of like when you cut your fingernails too short. You're in a lot of pain and you're just kind of like, oh, what do I do? And so it's kind of the same way with lawns. You want to just take off a little bit at a time. And so those are the 4 pillars of lawn care, to where if you do those 4, your lawn will be beautiful. And so in the next week or so, I'm going to be doing my video on Pre-emergent, talking about what you need to get and how to put down your Pre-emergent application and what it's going to be doing for your lawn. Then, as we get into the lawn season, I will cover all of the topics that I talked about in this video. And then even from last year, I have some videos that I've already put out on fertilizing, watering, some of the topics I did videos on last year. So if you want to kind of jump into them early, you can watch some of the old videos that I made. But if not, just stick around for this channel. I'm going to be putting out weekly videos to be able to walk you through step by step, so that 2022 is going to be the best year of your lawn. The goal of this channel is to get you from a beginner who knows nothing about grass, who just looks out there and has no idea what they're seeing, to somebody who has a good lawn schedule that suits their life. I don't want you guys to have to be people that are out in your lawn every single day throwing down stuff that you don't even know what it's doing. I want to keep your lawn care schedule simple and tailor-made to fit your life and still have the most beautiful lawn on the block. So if you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.